Hi, my name is Lisa. Welcome to my makeup channel. Today I'm wearing this beautiful Paradise Glow Lily Pulitzer pants, and I wanted to pair this with a nice eye look. First thing I did was trying to create a background today using the DALL-E, and I wanted to show the creations it came up with. And if you're not familiar with that, it is artificial intelligence, and you can ask it to draw pictures for you, and you tell it what you want, and it will interpret what you say. So these are the 4 pictures it came up with today, and this is the background that I chose, and this is how the final thumbnail came out. The palette of the day is Norvina palette 6, and this is what it looks like inside. Lots of vibrant colors here to choose from. So just sit back, relax, and watch the magic happen. Okay, so I've already put on my foundation and my setting powder and my eyeliner and my mascara. And I also did my toasty lip liner. I thought that I would skip all that since I do the same thing pretty much every day. And every so often I'll add that into the video for, showing the routine. Then what I normally change up is my eye color, my blush color, and my lipstick. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. I am using the Charlotte Tilbury Super Sendy on top of the Too Faced lip injection. So I put that on top first to kind of plump up my lips, and then when it kind of settles, I put on the lipstick. Okay, I'm starting off with the C1 color on my brush 4, and I'm putting this all over. And I always start at the bottom of my eye and then move forward up in case it's really too dark for my skin. And this has an immense amount of color payoff. Look at that, it's already done. Now I'm doing the other side. Now I'm taking my 3rd brush and using D1. This is all from the crease piece. It just makes it easy to follow because there's only 4 brushes. Or sometimes I just use 1 brush. It makes it easy. So D1 and my 3rd crease brush. And I'm putting this in the crease on top of the transition color. Now I'm using the 2nd brush with C3. And I'm putting this in the crease. Look at how vibrant this is. So this is not something you want all over your eye. Just kind of, and then remember how they put it up in here a little bit more to darken it up. And the other side. And if you want to soften it up, you can always go back to the previous brush. So in this case, it would be the 2nd brush and go back into D1 and just kind of soften it up a little bit. And I'm also going back in with the 1st brush just a little bit for C1, which was that light, beautiful lilac color. Just kind of soften it up. And I'm just kind of following my eyebrow shape. So for me, it's like this. And then down. Same thing. And down. And the other thing you can do with that same brush, after I clean it, so hold on a second, with the 4th brush, I'm just taking the white, which is A1, and kind of, flicking it off a little bit and just going in here, and this will make it very diffused. And then in the inner eye. Might have gotten some in my eyebrows. I'll have to fix that on the eyebrows. And another thing you can do to clean it up a little bit, you know, if you got some on the outer edge, is, you know, kind of brush it up. I actually don't think I like the white for the diffuser. I think I like the yellow that I normally use from the Cali Smashbox a little bit better, and that is because this is a little bit too stark, I think, but it does serve the purpose for right now. For the outer edge, I'm going to use C5 with the 4th brush. And just very lightly pulling it in on the lower line. I probably would not use that 4th brush for the line, so let's go back in. It's a little bit large. I'm sorry, this is the 3rd brush. So I want to go in with like the 2nd brush for the line. So once again, I'm still using C5, and I just switched to the 2nd brush on the crease piece. I'm going up. Now for the bottom line, I'm going to be using just 3 brushes, the 1, 2, 3, not the 4th one because it's a little too large. And I'm starting off with the B3, which is a green color. Now I'm using the 2nd brush on using B4. So it's a little bit smaller. Look at this color combination. Wow. Now I'm going to use the smallest brush, the brush 1, using E4. So this will be closest to the line. Now I'm using the 2nd brush with A1 to get a really nice light inner corner. And I'm bringing it down just a little bit too, to diffuse it a little bit, by pulling the darker back in. And I'm thinking to just kind of bring this in a little bit more under the purple, just like that. To kind of diffuse it a little bit. Now I'm going to use A3, which is that sparkly color on top, to really give it that oomph here. And it also makes it like, yeah, it just gives it that magical look that you see that on camera. And I'm going to use also A3 on the center. Give it that halo look. And it also diffuses it a little bit. Now, if I use the glitter primer, I think this will be even brighter. So let's try that as well. Hold on a moment. Okay, I'm using the A3 on top of the glitter primer, and look at this. It definitely made a huge difference. So if you're not getting good payoff on some of these like glittery type colors, this helps, and it prevents like the fallout of having glitter all over your face. If you kind of just tap it in on top of a glitter primer. Normally when we buy an eyeshadow, we're not really thinking, oh, I need primer, I need glitter primer, I need, you know, all these things to make the look. And then when we get it, sometimes we forget we even have it. Now I am going to go in with my Sigma E41, and I am cleaning up with the Cali Smashbox just to make everything diffused. This color, I just feel like it's a lot more natural. Like this white right here is crazy. I should not have put it here. It was an experiment and I did not like it. So I want to put back a more natural color, which is like this yellowy, I think it's like a highlighting color in this palette. And we're going to diffuse just the edges over here. And then like anywhere where you think it might be a little too dark, you can always just like kind of tap and, I'm sorry, you can tap in here just lightly, you know, and kind of make sure that you don't have too much powder. This has like a lot of it's very loose, so that's why I would want to do that, because when I put my brush in a very hard pan, you know, you might have to like swirl it around a little bit, but in this, it's very, mine is older and it's very loose. So just kind of want to clean this up just a little bit so it's not so harsh here. And then once again, I'm just cleaning up the edges to make it not harsh. And I think that is a good look. Okay, so I'm really looking at this eye look, and I think that I would like to use a pinker lips. So I'm going to use Rosy Seduction on top. Now to tie this look together, I'm going to use this Pillow Talk in the peach color, because I think this is going to make it like a really interesting look. You know, having the two tones of the orange and the pink with the purple going with an orange blush, I think it's going to be really pretty. Now, something that I learned a long time ago is to just kind of do this C and then a W. And we'll put more on. Kind of bring it up a little bit. This also is kind of making the, you know, when I'm going up just a little bit into the highlighter here so it doesn't look so stark. And that's why I normally have my headband on when I do this. My husband says I look like a gypsy though with it. Okay, and I'm gonna go in with a light color, this highlight. Now the highlight, I mean, this is nothing to talk about here. Let's just see if I can get it to pick up a little bit more. Okay, brush this quite a bit. Let's see if this shows up. I want this kind of glow, and I'm gonna have to like also clean up a little bit here, I'm noticing. So even this is for medium to darker skin, I actually really like this. I'm gonna go in with the darker color right in here to, you know, give that cheekbone more definition. So I actually decided to use some of this NARS on top to give it a little more of this lilac in here, especially in this area, to go with the eyes a little bit better. Kind of funny that way, like when I see that colors aren't matching or not going together, it drives me crazy. But look at this color. It is definitely bringing out the eyes a little bit. I don't know, I was thinking that like the orange and the pinks would look really good, but the predominant color, even with the orange and the pink layered, is pink. That's what's showing up most, pinky purple. So I'm thinking this lilac will be a little bit better. I'm also going to clean up a little bit right over here with the butterfly palette, using like these lighter color, like the white color. And in here, and down here a little bit. See, now it's more diffused. Okay, so I switched out my lipstick to Tom Ford's Pink Dusk. I did a side-by-side comparison by taking a couple pictures and putting it in grid and seeing which one I like the best. So first, I was looking at the Rosy Seduction by Charlotte Tilbury, which is what I originally put on, and I thought it was a little bit orange, or a little bit not the color tone that I wanted to go with the eyes. And then I said, you know, I want it to be a little bit more pink because I have pink color. Let me try Famously Pink. And I did side-by-side comparison with Famously Pink and Rosy Seduction, both by Charlotte Tilbury. And I thought I like the Rosy Seduction better, but that's not quite the color I want. And then I tried Tom Ford's Pink Dusk. And I did a side-by-side comparison with the Rosy Seduction, and I just like that one better. So that's what I'm going with. Now for the eyes, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll use like a really small like face blend type brush that has duo fiber, or like, you know, has short and small kind of bristles, so I can get a good blend. And I will just use something like that and kind of brush over the eye a little bit just to give it like the last little bit of a diffused look. You can see that here. Now let's look at the final eye. Sometimes I'm finding that when I'm using the thicker shading brush, I'm getting a little bit of this black just a little bit too low over here. So I'm trying to be a little bit more careful with that. So my final thoughts on the Norvina Pro Palette 6. It is very vibrant, and it can be a little difficult to figure out how to pair some of these colors. Like when I first saw this, like, what am I gonna do with all these colors? I'm not really sure. So I had to play around with it on my arm quite a bit before I came up with this look. I thought that it actually came out really beautiful, and the only problem I had was, since a lot of these colors are very vibrant, finding a good cheek color that would kind of blend it and make it look, you know, nice and neutral on the cheeks and lips and bring out the eyes. And I found that the NARS Holiday 2022 cheek palette had enough colors in it to do that. So I started off with the Charlotte Tilbury, you know, wanting to make it a nice, normal, glamorous look. And I thought it would look nice because I did use some oranges in the eyeshadow, but I felt like it just wasn't quite the right color. So I went to my NARS, and I was glad I had that. I wasn't gonna purchase this because I just thought, oh, I don't really need that many cheek palettes, but I was really glad I had that. The last thing I'd say, the lipstick was a little bit also difficult for me to figure out because I wanted to go with like something I would normally use, and I found that the colors just didn't quite go with the look. And so I end up with going through some of my older lipsticks to find something more, you know, color that I like. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed how we put this look together. And I'm looking at my palette down and I'm seeing that it's flashing across my face. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and don't forget to subscribe and like. So this is my final look